Hi, I'm Mark Olives, and today I'd like to talk to you about the amount of calories that are in your food. And we're not going to get deep into food, but we're going to just discuss some very basic things. Your food is basically related to the weight of your food. So if you have a gram of carbohydrate or a gram of protein, there's 4 calories per gram in both carbohydrate and protein. So people frequently get excited and think, oh my God, I can't eat carbs and make me fat. Well, the fact is there's only 4 calories per gram, and that's the same exact amount as in protein. So protein and carbohydrate are calorically equivalent. Fat, on the other hand, has 9 calories per gram. So there's over twice the caloric density of calories in fat as opposed to protein and carbohydrate. Now that's not to say you should avoid fat. Fat's very important in your diet. If you did not have fat in your diet, you would eventually die because there's things in fat, fatty acids, that are necessary to build things like brain tissue, nervous system tissue. Every cell in your body has a fatty membrane that lines it. You need fatty acids in order to replenish or repair fats. So you don't want to avoid fat just because it's got 9 calories per gram, but you do want to be aware of the fact that it is packing a lot more caloric density. Something else I like to tell people is because calories are directly related to weight of food, you can kind of gauge how many calories might be in a food based on what do you think the weight of the food is, coupled with what do you think the makeup of the food is. Do you think it does have a lot of fat, or do you think it's mostly carbohydrate and protein? So if you've got a heavy food, but you think it's probably a lot of carbs and protein, and you have a heavy food and it's probably full of fat, well, you can guarantee there's going to be a lot more calories in the fat food. Another good way to use this is when you're comparing apples to apples. So if you say have a loaf of bread that's whole grain and you have a loaf of bread that's white bread and you feel how heavy they are. Well, what you'll find is that heavier bread is the whole grain bread. The white bread's very, very light. It's very airy. Now, if you look at the calories and the amount of, or the calories in the bread, you'll find that lo and behold, the white bread has tons less calories than whole grain bread. I always like to use bread because it also illustrates the fact that just because something's healthier does not mean it's lower calorie, does not mean that it won't make you fat. And in this case, obviously, the whole grain has more calories in it, and the more of it you eat, the more calories you're going to put in your body, the more likely you are to gain weight. So you can definitely use the weight of a food to gauge the calories. Do be careful, however, to remember that water content can greatly add weight to a food, but shouldn't count. So like fruit, for example. Fruit is very heavy. Like if you have a watermelon, it's heavy. Does that mean it's got a lot of calories? No, it just means it's got a lot of water in it. So be careful when you're using that tool, but definitely remember that if you've got food in front of you and you're not really sure how many calories in it, think about what's the content, high fat or mostly protein and carbohydrate, and is it heavy? If you've got a heavy food that's high fat, you're looking for trouble, make sure you keep your portion size very small. I hope this provides you some help. Thanks.